Hello, hello. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the show. You're tuned into Blaze Radio. We are live here with a special WrestleSense report. We're going to recap Full Gear. We're going to talk about Survivor Series. And we got Wally in the building. Good to see you, bro. We got Greg John in the house. We got Chuck in the house. Let me know in the chat how my audio is, how you guys are hearing me. Hopefully it's all good. Started a little bit early. We're going to have CJ join us here in just a few minutes to talk about this stuff. I got a pizza on the way, so I'm watching my camera outside as well. Hey, he got here. There he is. I started early. Yeah. Screw it. I said, let's rock it. I know. See, CJ will never complain. He likes getting things rolling, so he's not going to complain about starting early, getting things going.
I just walked in the door, buddy.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I was all planned on doing this by myself. I know it's Black Friday. I know it's Thanksgiving, so we didn't do a stream yesterday. But I just wanted to cover because Survivor Series is tomorrow, and Full Gear. We'll talk about it.
Hey, I'm not sure if you knew this, but CM Punk was spotted in Chicago.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, he fucking lives there.
Yeah, no shit.
Fucking marks.
There was actually an ESPN report today that came out, and I'm like, no, not legit. It says there's a big show in Chicago. Does that mean ... and a picture of him? I'm like, come on.
If he does, great. If he doesn't, yeah. Who gives a fuck?
That's how I am too. Now, me and CJ, we don't always agree on stuff, and that's good.
Yeah,
but my brother, the guys from WrestleSense. I mean, we may shit on people's opinions sometimes, but you're allowed to have whatever opinion you want on wrestling.
I mean,
that's where this show differs from the other podcast.
Hey, wrong is wrong, and then there's me.
Andy Price, good to see you, bro. Jax, welcome in. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We got a couple new subscribers over the last couple of days. We much appreciate it. And I wanted to keep some content going on a week where I didn't know if we were going to be here. So I did do a quick rewind the other day on Full Gear. But let's talk about some Full Gear stuff now. Before Full Gear, there was how do I put this? A big name that showed up on Ring of Honor. So not a big deal for me either. I was never a big fan of hers. I haven't seen the match yet. A lot of people are saying that she seems like more of a fighting style than the scaled down WWE style. We'll see.
Her best match was her and Kurt against Hunter and Stephanie.
Yeah, that was a fun match. I agree. So she's not under contract. I did watch Tony Khan's press conference the other day. He said he got her in for the one thing. He'd love to have her back, but she is not. He wanted to make it clear she is not under contract. But with Marina Shafir over there, her friend, I mean, she fought a couple indie places. So good for her. Keep fighting. Not a problem. I don't see anything wrong with it. We'll see if that turns into anything else or not. It may or may not.
Again, if it does, cool. And if it doesn't, who gives a fuck?
See, that's what I love about how we handle this podcast. You'll go a lot of places and they can do their own thing to say it should have been this way, it should have been that way, this should be that way.
I'll do that.
But I mean, I just accept for however it happened, and then I react. I may like it, I may not like it, So, and there's a reason that I'm sitting at home, and there's people actually doing that. Now, this guy down here, he's in touch with the industry a lot more than me, behind the scenes, in the ring. So I do respect your opinion, even though sometimes we disagree. And
I'm not saying what I even choose to, like, even in a producing capacity, do is always right. Yeah. But you're not going to know unless you try things.
At the same time, I don't mind being wrong when we do like picks and stuff like that. I want to be surprised by wrestling shows.
Why do you think I never win you?
I want to be entertained and I want to be surprised. Those are the two things I want in wrestling shows.
Yeah.
And, I got a little bit of that from Full Gear. Let's talk about it. The match card, big match card, a lot of matches as usual, 3 in a 0 hour. We'll go over each one here together. Kingston and Jay Lethal. I like Jay Lethal here basically in the putting over the other guys kind of role. I think that's pretty much why he's there. And I don't mind that at all. I've been a fan of him. I did see the little run-in he had with Flair in the background. It was kind of funny because he stopped.
I don't remember a whole lot of this match, to be honest with you, because I was over at buddies of mine and we were just catching up and whatnot. So
I did start it late too, but I caught, the end of it. Of course, Kingston did retain, but the Jay Lethal thing was funny. Him and Jarrett were walking backstage and they passed Ric Flair. If you guys know the past with the TNA Impact stuff with Jay Lethal and Flair, which
I did see that. I
think they'll revisit the woo off at some point. If they don't, no big deal. But if they do,
I'd rather it be another woo off instead of another Ric Flair's last match.
Yeah, that definitely, I agree 100% on that.
Because he's probably gonna die if he tries to wrestle.
Yeah, maybe. But we'll talk about how they utilized him in this show, and I didn't mind it at all. Mitch, what's up, my man? Mitch in the building. He stopped in for the
That's the one I met for like 2 seconds.
2 seconds in that. Yeah. So my man Mitch, big shout out to him from the Hardcore Sports Network. We're doing basketball games live. We did jumped in on his stream earlier. So big shout out to Mitch and the Hardcore Sports Network. The big news after this match to me was the fact that Eddie Kingston came back and said, hey, I'm going to put my life's work on the line. The New Japan Strong Openweight title and this ROH title will all be combined for the Continental Classic, which is a G1 style. I did throw in, even though I did a preview for it, I have a couple slides on the competition that we'll talk out here in a little bit.
Here's my problem with that.
Go ahead. And I have a problem with it too.
It's probably the same problem I have. If he doesn't win this, and by him saying that it's kind of a dead giveaway that he's at least going to go to the finals, it's just, it's not for me.
Same. I like raising the stakes. And what I didn't realize until I did that preview, that's the only 2 titles he's ever held besides smaller companies.
Oh, I was going to say.
Yeah. That's in like, he has, I went over everybody's championships, and those 2 he has now in Ring of Honor and New Japan. He's never in WWE. He hasn't held any AEW titles. No. That's the only Ring of Honor and the only New Japan title. He's never, in my opinion, he's never needed a title because I love his persona as a whole.
He still doesn't.
Yeah. So, raising the stakes. My question is, and they haven't cleared this up, the Continental Championship is getting a title, that they will defend.
Oh, it is, but I don't think that it's going to be defended throughout.
They said it is. And I don't want to unify it. How do you unify the ROH World title and make it disappear? They want it to be the Triple Crown title is what they want it to be. I get the idea. It's the first time ever they tied 3 companies' titles together. But are you eliminating the Ring of Honor World Championship lineage?
Well, in the New Japan.
Yeah, the Strong Openweight title just started.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. You're taking a title with a ton of lineage and not a lot. I don't know. I mean, like
I'll let it play out.
That's where I'm at with it too. And we'll revisit it when we talk about the divisions and everything in a little bit. Buddy Matthews and Claudio, two great workers, so I knew it'd be a good match.
From what I remember, again, it was really solid. I've always been a Claudio guy because I've had the privilege to work with him multiple times in IWC, and Buddy is just a freak, dude.
Yeah, I'm glad. I want to see more shine for all three of the House of Black, man. We'll talk a little bit more about one of them later on as well. So Claudio wins by submission, but the story afterwards, he extended a hand, but he wouldn't have none of it, and I like that. I like that. So good match. Always get good matches with those two. So good matchup. Now this one, I got some issues with the whole storyline. With the Joe stuff, even going back to him relinquishing a title to go for another one when he could have dumped it to somebody. It wouldn't have really hurt him, in my opinion. I get the dynamic of they're going to fight later. So he come out to, quote unquote, make sure that he can get that title shot, because if they defended, then MJF was supposed to give him a title shot. It didn't happen at this show, but later on they made it. I mean, do you care about the dynamic between someone you're about to fight teaming with them? Oh, hold on, my pizza's here. Go ahead.
I mean, for me, like, this was, I don't mind the dynamic of it. I had a big problem with what took place after, and the whole angle with the injury. One, because whatever gun it was, I don't remember, barely even touched his leg with the chair, and you're going like all overboard on that chair shot. And I just hated the angle throughout the rest of the night that dealt with the aftermath of this.
Yeah, I mean, I heard what you're saying. I kind of agree. It's a little diluted. I wouldn't have been mad if the Guns took the title for some reason, because
I would have rather the Guns won, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and so good match. They did retain Samoa Joe, ended up helping him. We got a handshake, but it wasn't really like, okay, you're going to get the title shot, and MJF's a dick, so why would he automatically give him the title shot? So.
Yeah,
he did get it eventually, and I'm looking forward to that match. I really am. But MJF did get we'll talk about his injury later. So here's the storyline that was really kind of cringy, and I see you doing the same thing. If he's not going to fight in the tag title match, why would the company allow him to fight in the main event? Like, I wasn't buying it. Some people out on the internet were.
This was such fucking trash.
Yeah.
Such fucking trash. A better way to do that. And I understand you want to get Adam Cole still seen and relevant, which is all good and fine. But again, you probably caught the tail end. Yeah. The chair shot to MJF's leg was like a love tap, first and foremost. And then as we get to that match later on, but I'll preface it with Adam Cole's fine just walking down on his own on crutches. And whenever MJF comes back, there's like a million people trying to stop him. But you're going to let someone that's on crutches and a walking, but oh, yeah, sure. No, fuck off.
Yeah. So anybody out there wants to, I love AEW. It's my style more than WWE. I love them both. But anyone who wants to say I'm a mark for AEW, I'm calling this trash too.
It's garbage.
It could have been done so much better.
It belittles Jay White a little bit. It belittles MJF a little bit. And I mean, while MJF's baby face run has been pretty solid, I think just everything with this is drop the ball.
Yeah, I agree. It could have been done a lot better how it worked out. Now, this match, we did see Flair come down with them, and I was hoping they wouldn't use him too much. I just wanted the storyline of what went down here be the main thing that happened. Now, one thing I really loved, and I hope I got the screenshot, I love this gear. They look like a team.
I mean, that was the best part of it.
I loved, and Edge and Sting together. I never thought I'd see Adam Copeland, Edge, and Sting on the same team, let alone, like this. So I really enjoyed having them as a team. Obviously, Christian's heel work is just prime right now. And a little bit of revenge. He got hit in the balls. He got a little eye, and that's all they did with Flair. I was afraid they'd overuse him. for something as small as just this one little spot, I'm okay with. Let's not put too much flair shit. But I marked out when he got his balls ranked. That was the good stuff. But that's all they did. I was okay with that. And this storyline's continuing now too. But you have the good quote unquote good guys getting their hands raised. Last night, did you get to watch Dynamite at all?
On Wednesday,
I mean, yeah. Ooh,
I didn't watch it yet. No.
So the only thing is, Christian came out and he renamed Luchasaurus to
Kill Shot or something, or
Kill Switch. He says, "Well, you are my finisher," which he kind of makes sense. He's like, "You are my finisher, so you'll be named after my finisher." Luchasaurus is a good name for what it is.
Here's my problem with that whole thing. Okay, Adam Copeland. Fuck that. Edge comes out to fucking save Nick Wayne's mom from getting her head bashed in with a chair, and then proceeds to fucking whoop the shit out of her son.
Yeah, I just want to see the end game. I want to see the eventual Copeland versus Christian match, and then them teaming up eventually here in AEW.
I mean, that's what it has to be.
Yeah. But and then Nick Wayne is now the prodigy Nick Wayne, which I don't mind. So Christian's putting his moniker on his boys. I thought Lucha was going to change because they did have a standoff.
I heard something, and I forget. It was probably like Fightful or Busted Open or something. He should just be Nick Cage.
I thought they were going to make him that too. I thought I was like, wait, can he make him Nick Cage?
Oh, it's perfect. Why not?
And then bring GCW Nick in for a match.
No, not Nick Gage.
I know.
Cage,
but then you have Nick Cage versus Nick Gage. But yeah, he should have gave him his last name. That would have been a fine with me too. It would have been funny, but for me, the last run of Sting, I'm in for it, all of it. You know, I might not like some of the things they do with him, but he's one of my favorites of all time. So I just saw someone showed a clip I saw somewhere of his little stint in WWE, and I was reminded how shit it was, how much he deserved more. So I'm glad he's getting a little shine towards the end. So your winners right here were Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick. I mean, what? Copeland, Sting, and Darby were your winners. I'm sorry, I read the bottom.
Get your fucking head out of your ass.
Orange Cassidy and Moxley. Now, this could have went either way. We talked about it. Does Moxley right the ship or does Orange finally get the win over Moxley? And Orange did get the win and retain the title.
I think with Orange winning in a way, and not a lot of people would understand this, but maybe you will, by Moxley putting over Orange, in a way, I think that is kind of righting the ship. Does Moxley really need it?
No. I mean, and you know what I mean. For those out there who don't know, righting the ship, because of the injury, Phoenix got the title, and then Orange got another title run. They made the most out of a messed up situation, I would say.
I believe so.
And then Orange back with the championship again. And I know Mitch Kofsky hates Orange Cassidy, so he's out there. Toni Storm and Shida.
I'm just looking. I don't know who Chuck is.
Big Chuck. He loves saying weird stuff too. Chuck. Some people think he is boring. Some people don't like the Danhausen, don't like the Orange.
I promise you, he's not.
Yeah. And look at how he first came into the company and how he's evolved. How he's shown you he's not just a joke. He can do that, and he's proven to be one of the best champions in wrestling this year.
After week after week, he is one of the best all-around workers in professional wrestling, right?
I mean, if you want to be technical, boring, nonchalant is his shtick. He's
not
boring
and nonchalant.
Not in the ring, but he's whatever, okay.
That'd be like someone saying Orange is boring and saying like the movie Step Brothers is boring.
Yeah. So Toni Storm did take the championship, and I was okay with, even if she lost, she could have wigged out and been crazier, but with her with the title belt now, they did a ceremony, like a award ceremony for her. I missed that. Yeah. It was very funny. So keep the timeless Toni Storm angle going. It's gold.
Oh, they're going to with Mariah May, I'm sure.
Yeah. And her side, Luther, finally using Luther. He's fun in that gimmick too. The ladder match. I mean, I in hindsight, I like that they made it a ladder match instead of just a schmoz with 4 teams running around. There's a couple, they normally do some crazy ladder spots.
I mean, there were a couple things for me that were very cringe-worthy, and not in a bad way, but in a safety type of way.
Yeah. There was a lot of oh shits for me too in here. Like, I've never worked. He has. And to see someone, I know, like this one here, it's placed pretty good where his
this
head's
wasn't
in
as bad as the Brody thing.
I think there's another one. I think I have that one too.
Yeah. That
this one? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This one made me really, but crazy ladder spots, that's what they do when they have ladder matches.
They're professionals. They know what they're doing.
Exactly. But, to the casual and to the fan like me, some of these really, caught my breath. And that's what I want in a match. So, some of the way the ladder wouldn't like fall and it's teetering, I'm like, oh, if that ladder goes the wrong way. But that was something different. When you set up a ladder against a barricade, use it. Ricky got it. The team defended.
I'm still laughing at Chuck.
He's good at me. He messes around. Chuck's a good guy. He just likes saying this stupid stuff like that sometimes. So Ricky and Big Bill, they had a great scrum afterwards too. I really like those two talking afterwards. They talked about Big Bill finally getting a championship. That's another one.
Big Bill's always been my guy, but he's even more so now my guy because we're both in recovery. So. Yep.
Yeah, and they talked about that in the scrum. They brought it up.
He's real open about it.
And I really liked the fact, I didn't know a lot of the story, and he talked a little bit more about it, and I did gain a little more. And Ricky Starks, he's going to, I know a lot of people with the Raw comparisons and stuff, and I get it a little bit his persona.
Who fucking cares?
But he has, his personality came out in the scrum even a little more. Dude's funny as shit. The dude is hilarious. He's got a huge future, and I love these two together. It was unexpected, but it works.
It does work.
And it did fuel the other feud with the House of Black and stuff as well. Here, pretty much what we expected, Julia Hart getting the championship.
I was not a hugest fan of the finish. The basis of it I thought was good, but the execution was not the greatest, in my opinion.
To me, this is what I took from it. The evolution of how Sky Blue has gotten and Julia Hart.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Those two have come a long way for some of the youngest women in the business. And Julia Hart did the scrum also. And it was good to see her behind the scenes. You don't see a lot. She wasn't really sticking to the character as much, but she talked about how much it meant to her to go that she never expected to go this far this quickly. And she deserves it. She really does deserve it. And Sky Blue's working hard.
You can tell that Julia Hart isn't the most comfortable just yet speaking about herself. Like the scrum, how she was, it wasn't terrible. But she's not comfortable talking about herself.
True. And you can tell her
that's not a bad thing.
No.
Because that's going to keep her humble and keep her whatever to get better and better.
And it's a reoccurring theme to all the idiots out there that say, all old people wrestling, and they're all bunch of old people in AEW. They got a shitload of young talent that's phenomenal. So you're not watching it.
They have a couple people, not even. I don't think you need two hands to count like the people from WWE or yada yada. It's all pretty much, for the most part, a lot of homegrown.
Yep. People. And a lot of the old seasoned veterans they have are putting over to young people, helping the young people. And I love that. And a lot of people are blind to that because it's this is nice. I didn't even put two and two together until I saw the picture.
Phenomenal.
I didn't even think about it until I saw the picture. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And I love Stat. But
I do too.
We discussed too. It was a good time to take the title off of her. Her title reign wasn't that great, but I think she's still phenomenal.
That's not her fault whatsoever. No. I apologize for eating. I got Chinese. Good. I got Chinese for lunch at work, and it was fucking terrible. I didn't even eat it all.
I got my pizza's waiting there for me as soon as we're done. So Julia Hart, TBS champion. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with her next. I'm in for it. I'm all in for it. So Julia Hart finally gets the title. And then there was the announcement of the Blockbuster signing. It wasn't a big surprise because a lot of people with reasoning can find out. But I like the fact that he came out and said, be patient. I'm going to fulfill my obligations. I'll be here next year, but I'm glad to be here. And his scrum was fucking phenomenal, too.
Oh, yeah.
He said fuck, and he was like, oh, wait, can I cuss? And that's right after MJF threw like 9,000 F-bombs in his.
I think bruv is like my favorite word that I'll never, ever use because it wouldn't work for me.
No. But him and Zack Sabre Jr., I've been saying it. I want them on American national TV more, and this, it looks like we're finally going to get it. And I could list 20 dream matches right now I'd love to see with this guy, and I can't wait to see what they do with him. And they're already using him to promote the London show next year, which is cool.
I mean, you'd be a fool not to.
Yep. Now, match that everyone's talking about.
It's the match of the fucking night. And I mean, I've always been a Bobby Heenan guy. I've always been a Paul Heyman guy. But, like, I think people sleep on Prince Nana a little bit more than they should. He is fucking phenomenal. That choreographed entrance before Swerve even came out was like my favorite fucking thing of the entire fucking show.
Yeah. Now, I'll preface this with I loved it and I had a lot of oh shit moments, but it's not for a lot of people don't like death matches, and that's fine.
I don't, but the story that this told,
that's the difference. This was a huge story. And CJ brought it up while we were watching the show. A lot of people don't realize Swerve has been a deathmatch guy even before Lucha. In Lucha, he's been this way before. It was finally good to see him bring it out and do it.
Yeah.
And there was, the stapling of his kids thing because of the home invasion tying in a story.
I mean, would I do that? I mean, I'm not going to say never, but nah.
A lot of blood cringes me. I just get a little queasy, and this match did do it. I mean, a lot of people
that shit don't bother me.
A lot of people don't bother me. To me, it like when he took it and he started stapling himself, I was like, this part is the big controversial part. People were like, didn't need to do that. That's too far. I loved it. When have you ever seen someone drink someone else's blood?
I mean,
maybe
let's be honest.
Butcher, maybe
they all get tested, and I mean, the bigger health issue is you really shouldn't, and he spit it all out, so you shouldn't really be drinking anyone's, even your own, like when you get a bloody lip, but like it's
shock value.
Yes. You've never seen that done anywhere else.
No.
And look at all the people that are talking about it. Yes, people, it was pre-approved. Yes, it was received fine. Yes, they both agreed to do it. So any other internet fucking wrestling marks that want to say something different, fuck off.
And here's the thing, too. In pro wrestling, whether you're praising it or making fun and saying you didn't like it, you're still talking about it a lot. So
talk good about me, talk bad about me, as long as you're talking about me.
This is sick, man. That's a badass picture of Swerve right there. He was just drenched in, and there was a point where that shit was literally pouring out of his head. Like more, I mean, you've seen people like the Flair stuff, and it was just gushing out.
I mean, that's a couple aspirin and a couple beers before the match.
Now, I'll tell you right now, as far as blood goes, I got a paper cut on my thumb, and it hurt today. So to see this, it's like, I got mad respect for someone because, I mean, I've done injuries where I'd lost a lot of blood. I'm queasy. There's no way I'd be doing anything.
I'm the opposite.
I wouldn't be able to do anything.
Pain really well.
And that's why you're a pro wrestler. But I mean, I think about, me having an injury where I'm gushing blood, and to think about doing something athletic during that, I wouldn't have thought of. So I got mad respect for what these guys did while they're gushing blood. And I know this is an industry thing. They're checking to make sure that each other is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
as you should.
The Sistine, did you ever see the Sistine Chapel comparison to this with the touching of the fingers, the big painting?
No, well,
it kind of looks like
pulling
that.
The curtain back too much, and you probably couldn't see it. There's a signal that they do to let each other know.
Yeah. So, and that's, and there was the one time, I think I have a shot of it, when he hit him with the chair and it wrapped around his head, the barbed wire. This spot was kind of cool too. Nana taking a huge bump.
He's the fucking greatest. He's the greatest.
and it just proves, this guy is gold. He's willing to put himself on the line. This is the one where he hit him with the chair and the barbed wire just wrapped around Hangman's face.
Yeah.
It's a great shot. I mean, that's one of the best shots of the night right there, in my opinion. And it's not like every match had a shitload of blood. This was the feature of gore and gruesomeness. And yes, a year ago, there was the rules that came out that you can't hang people, but unless it's part of the storyline that makes sense. So this
Unless
part
it's
made
pre-approved.
Yep, and this made
total fucking sense.
And the look on his face, I knew this was pretty much the end. It was a great way to end the match the whole way through. And someone had to take something pretty brutal to end the match.
Yeah.
Because there was some great false finishes as well, where you thought the match was over and it wasn't. So
the pile driver on top of the barricade.
Yeah, there was. I mean, for everyone that's talking about it, good or bad, it's worth it. Match of the night, definitely. So shout out to Swerve. Did you see the shot of him at the Rams game?
I did not.
He was at the LA Rams game, and there's a thing the LA Rams do where they come up on the screen and it splits half, and he goes, "All right, north side, whose house?" And they go, "Rams house." And his girlfriend or wife, whoever, panned over to him, and he's like, "Come on." And they did it again. They're like, "Okay, this side of the arena, whose house?"
Swerve's house.
And they go back to Swerve, and he's like, "Come on, man," because they were saying Rams house. It was gold. This is the match I hate to follow. The last match, so I get props to these guys for at least giving a shot. We're getting heel bucks.
I mean, I was kind of worn out watching this after Hangman Swerve, but
if you're going to follow that, these are four of the best in the world to try to, at least, you know.
And, I mean, it wasn't bad, but nothing like really necessarily stuck out to me as being, oh my God.
No, and the thing is, well, the stipulation, obviously, that if these two lost, they would never fight as a team together. If they won, they got the tag shot from the Bucks.
Kind of wish they would have lost.
And the Bucks throwing their tantrum afterwards, I loved it. I want heel Bucks. And I just read today they're supposedly taking a little bit of time off. Even BT's taking a little time off, and they're coming back full-blown heel, and I'm here for it.
Yeah,
they're best when they're pricks, in my opinion. And then supposedly they called this earlier. It's going to be Adam Cole versus Jay White.
And again, why not just leave it as, oh, we wonder if Adam or if MJF's going to be able to compete in the main event? Yada yada.
Count. Have White come in, do the 10 count, have the ambulance come out, and he gets in right before the 10, and then you have the match.
I mean, if we're trying to make this as realistic as possible, it's a felony to steal an ambulance and fucking. I know it's wrestling.
Yeah,
but I like some sort of realism, and Hangman Swerve was as real as it gets.
Yeah. And they mentioned that afterwards too. They're like, it's a felony and everything, and he's like, so. Adam Cole came down, obviously, where I was waiting for the music. Here comes MJF with his felony, which, there's been ambulance spots in wrestling a million times. This one, like you said earlier, a lot of this with this angle could have been left out, and it still would have been good. He could. I
think all this bullshit took away from it.
Yeah, I agree. So, in the end, you got a wounded MJF, which, shit. He did take an injury to his hip during the match. He had to pop his hip back into place, I read.
Well, yeah. I mean, because the table broke, I mean, kudos to him for going all in. But was it necessary for him to just do a straight fucking elbow drop to the fucking floor?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no. Just because the tape. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I guess, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, if you're jumping off of a top turnbuckle onto the table, you're going to get a little bit of give when the table breaks.
Well, yeah. You're going to get
when he's
a lot
on the
more,
floor, he's getting nothing.
There's padding, but still, that is a high leap.
Plus
look how I broke my fucking heel. It's something I've done a million times, but just landed wrong, and it shattered my foot into 4 fucking pieces.
So he's also jumping further down instead of up higher, so it's a longer jump. He said, "Fuck it," he's going to do it for the business. And
I mean, kudos to him. That's a true professional. Was it maybe the smartest idea? No.
But MJF, he's putting it all on the line out there for this shit, and I got respect for that. And
absolutely.
It could have been done differently. The end result was still here. I was not expecting a devil reveal. If you're expecting a devil reveal this early.
Oh, no, not a reveal, but just something.
Yes, they should have put the face
end to the pay-per-view, and I was not a fan whatsoever.
On Wednesday, they did what I thought they should have done at the end of this match. Just have the devil show up on the big screen, laugh, end the show.
Yeah.
Because everyone's thinking MJF's the devil, Adam's the devil, and it could be taped. I get it. But if you show the devil face while they're in the ring, then you got people guessing even more.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and they didn't do anything with the devil at all, but MJF does retain. So, and I know I'm pretty sure I know your answer to this. A lot of people are saying the way they did this made Jay White look bad because he lost to an injured MJF. I mean, he used weapons.
Look bad. Yes.
You can lose and still look good.
Yes, but Jay White is Jay White. So I don't think it matters as much as people are making it try to matter.
My thing is he'll get his time.
Yes.
Jay White will get his time. I mean,
he's one of the best in the world. Oh, yeah. CM Punk reference. Holy fuck. Tomorrow Survivor Series.
Confirmed. And I think this match did prove that he is one of the best in the world. I mean, obviously the story is overcoming an injured MJF to win, you know, and he's targeting the injury, and he ends up getting the ring and he wins. And people out there that are still shitting over the fact that he's quote unquote a good guy doing heel tactics. It's fucking 2023, people. Get over it.
Wally, the only way it's Dolph Ziggler, and I'm on board with that, is whenever his 90-day
21st
is it December 21st? And
December
I think
21st,
Wednesday, right?
I think on World's End, I think we get a tease that week, and then World's End we get a reveal for the devil.
But I still think it's Adam Cole.
I think Dolph and Ali both end up in AEW because I think they both would do well. Ali is the style that he could work
Dolph
well.
1,000%.
Yeah, Dolph as well. So after the 21st, we'll see, which one. I don't know. Part of me wants it to be someone no one's guessing. Like Cole makes sense. And even MJF would make sense. He's been calling himself the devil forever, but I think you got to swerve from that.
MJF would not make sense because of the devil being shown with MJF in the ring.
Well, that's what they're, and I saw that.
I get it, but yeah, I'd be happy with Wardlow, even though I don't think it's gonna be.
I think he's in the group though, because seeing that group, one of the dudes is really big.
I've heard all the guys dressed up can be all the Pinnacle getting back together. I'm okay with that. Yep. I'm okay with it being Cole, Roddy, Taven, yada yada.
Yep. But I mean,
there's a million ways you could go.
It's a great story, though. It's a cliffhanger. It's keeping us wonder.
It is, but they could be doing better, in my opinion.
I'm not saying, definitely agree with that. Could have been doing a lot better, but it's getting people talking. For those out there who always say, there's no stories in AEW.
There's
tons.
Quite a good bit of stories.
So I can't wait. We'll see how it goes. Now, in the media scrum, you got a bawling, and I'm not knocking him down for this. A lot of people
nor am I. I feel like a lot of it was obviously very sincere, but I think maybe a little bit too over the top for me.
Now, for me, and I say fuck all the time on my streams, he said it way too much. I mean, I'm going to go back and
disagree.
Every other fucking motherfucking word was fucking motherfucking motherfucker.
Disagree, but yeah.
I don't mind it, but it didn't have to be quite that much. But I think a mix between, I think he's trying, I mean, he's no dummy. He's going to be in movies. He's already in the Von Erich movie. Yeah. He's showing his acting chops, man. That was real crying. He looked like a baby crying. I have no problem with it. No problem. It's a character. This is wrestling. It's about characters. So we do get this match on World's End. And if it was me, Samoa walks out the champ. I don't know. But I put the belt on Joe. I think, and I know you're not a big Joe guy, but
it's not that I'm not a big Joe guy. I think he's fucking phenomenal. And again, and right now, one of the best in the world. I know I keep saying that, but I truly feel that. But storyline wise, to me, the only reason why you give it to Joe is so people actually think that MJF is leaving to go to WWE. Meanwhile, I can't confirm.
He signed.
I think he re-signed a long time ago.
Yeah, me too. But I love the intrigue. Why not tease the shit out of? I might leave, walk out with the belt.
And again, does MJF need it? the title? No, he
Not
doesn't.
at this point. So if Samoa Joe wins, we might get a CM Punk blew a kiss and MJF saying "fuck this company" or whatever and walking out. But then he'll be back next week.
I mean, if you ask me, and as much chaos as CM Punk has caused, I mean, personally, I've never had many issues with Punk, and I've worked with him numerous occasions. Beat him, and he liked it. No. If you want to pull the biggest work, I think this is bigger than the NWO. CM Punk is the devil.
Yeah, if they bring Punk,
I don't think it's not going to happen. But
the money would be that, and then if they could get them to do a Punk versus the Elite feud next year, that's where the money is. That would be huge.
And I'll eat my own shit. I think there's a better chance of CM Punk being the devil than CM Punk being on Survivor Series tomorrow.
yeah. Whatever happens, I mean,
it's fucking wrestling. Never say never.
Amen. I agree. I saw this card coming up for. I mean, just real quick, Wrestle Kingdom. In the beginning of the year, Ospreay. I'm a big Ospreay guy, but the reason I wanted to show this is the fact that AEW has that working relationship with New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen more Okada than I've seen before. I've seen more Ospreay than I've seen before. I've seen a little more Naito. So it gets those guys that exposure that they may not have here in the States that they deserve. Takahashi, Tanahashi, Hamahashi, Pamahashi. I get them all mixed up.
I'm not a big Japanese guy,
but there are a handful of guys over there that have always wanted to get some shine over here more than they do. And and I like the fact that AEW lets their guys go over there. Danielson's going to get to go over there and work Okada. Moxley going back over there. I love that. A lot of people don't. I do. I don't mind it. I don't, because I'm a territory guy from back in the day. I like when they share stuff, and that goes along with the titles and stuff too. If you break it all down, WWE and AEW minus NXT ROH, same amount of titles. So Continental Classic, our own G1 that we're getting here. I did my little rewind preview of it the other day when Tony Khan came out and did the press conference. They still haven't shown the Continental Championship belt yet. It looks really big, so we'll see what that is. I'm sure a lot of people shit on it. Like I said, I have my mixed, and we both said we have mixed things about putting all three belts together and calling it a Triple Crown Championship. I wouldn't be mad if they just defended it once a year like a G1 or the Owen thing.
That, to me, that's how it should be.
But I heard they're going to do it all year and just be another championship. So we'll see. So 20-minute time limit matches, 1 point for a draw, 3 points for a win. Everyone's banned at ringside, and we saw the Guns come out with Jay White and be told to go back. So they're going to carry that on. And it's like, if you're going to ban people from ringside, why not ban them all the time? Because a lot of times it helps in storylines for someone to run in. I don't want schmozzes all the time, but every once in a while, I mean, it's been in wrestling forever, run-ins. I mean, it's part of wrestling, but it can be overdone, and they have sometimes.
It has been overdone in both AEW and WWE.
So we got a blue league and a gold league, and we did some predictions and stuff the other day talking about who we think, and a lot of people, I mean, Danielson come out with the eye patch, and he's probably going to have to wear a mask or something. He can't be healed all the way. I don't know. I mean, you can control what moves are going to hit because he fought with one arm not too long ago.
Yeah.
But if he accidentally falls on where that broken orbital bone is or whatever, I think he's going to wear a mask. I don't know.
He's a professional.
Yeah. One of the best, one of my favorites of all time. I'd love to see him win this and finally get a championship. But like you said about the Kingston thing, it's kind of like predicting he's going to make the finals out of this group.
Yeah.
I mean, Garcia.
I would prefer it to be Daniel Garcia.
Yeah. Garcia would be a huge surprise. It would be a huge lift for him. I don't think
it would be a huge. Well,
I mean, if you look at the whole list, if you look at the whole list and it's Garcia over everybody else, that's a huge bump for him. That lifts him way up where he should be and will be eventually anyway. But I think he gets a couple surprise wins in the tournament, and that'll still help build him throughout. So for those that don't know, they're going to fight everybody in their division. So everyone will have 5 matches and then move on from the group stage to playoffs. And I mean, I would rather have Malachi been in there than Brody, but I don't mind Brody.
I like Brody.
You can put any of the 3 in there from House of Black, like I said earlier. But I really want that Malachi singles run at some point. I really do. No Rampage tonight, Wally. It's tomorrow. Collision and Rampage in Pittsburgh tomorrow night.
But there will be a Rampage on TV shown tonight that was probably taped on Wednesday.
Wednesday,
And then
yeah.
the one that'll be taped tomorrow in Pittsburgh will be next week's probably.
So you're going, right?
I am.
I think Doc is going too. He's getting tickets for his kids.
I mean, when I talked to him Wednesday,
he messaged me yesterday about what section we were in. And I was like 107, and he was trying to buy the tickets because I got an email from Ticketmaster. They're $20.
Yeah,
$10 a ticket. Buy one, get one free. $20, and we paid $75 a piece for those seats. So it's so I mean, you got to do what you got to do to get people in the arena, and we know attendance is down. It's not like it used to be, but it's not a big deal to me. I don't make a big deal about that.
No.
But out of this, I mean, there's really not in either league a wrong answer to come out of it. They're all phenomenal performers. I think they did a good job of picking the 12, in my opinion. So I think it's Kingston or Danielson. We'll see. Maybe Danielson, Kingston. And plus, it's the World's End's the final. It's in Kingston's hometown.
Yeah, I mean,
he grew up down the street, is what he said too. So I think he does make it to the finals, maybe beating Danielson somehow. But let's look at the Gold League and see who we think might come out of this part. I say strike while the iron's hot, Swerve Strickland. And I wouldn't be mad at any of the other ones.
No, nor would I.
Jay Lethal's there to put some people over. Jay White will probably, I'd say, maybe get to the finals, or Moxley. Yeah. Roosh might be the one out of all of them that's going to lose the most, unfortunately. But I'd like to see him get a big win off someone. Someone's got to lose the most. Someone does. These are all great wrestlers.
Mark Briscoe
too. And as much as I'd love to see a singles title on him eventually too. But great job picking the 12, in my opinion. So we had Moxley defeat Briscoe, so he's 1-0. Swerve beat Jay Lethal, he's 1-0. And Jay White beat Briscoe.
Well, not 1-0, 3 points.
Three points, yeah. So we got 3 3-point wins in the first show and 2 more matches tomorrow night. And we'll keep track of it. That's another thing.
You can keep track.
I'm a tournament junkie. So, I mean, every time we do a show, we'll take a look at where the standings are and where it's going. And that's something, it's people talk about story. And I don't always look for the same type of story, like WWE type story sometimes, but that's a story. We got a month of who's going to win this thing, who's going to get the most wins. I like that. It's competition.
It's different.
It's adding competition into a predetermined show, and I like that. Let's talk about Survivor Series War Games right off the bat. I'm pissed there's no traditional Survivor Series match again, and I'm gonna tell you right now. I hope I'm proved wrong. This is a shit card for tomorrow. Shit.
I don't even know, like, besides
the 3
single matches, I think.
Yeah, 5. In my opinion, the 3 singles matches are super predictable, but I hope I'm proved wrong. The 2 War Games matches, none of them are real teams like they used to get in Survivor Series, except for what's it called? Damage Control. So I think they're going to open up with the Women's War Games. Let's talk about this first. Open challenge, pretty much, he's saying. Will he show up tomorrow? Will it be an open challenge? Everyone's already saying Punk because he did the GTS and that. Like CJ said earlier, I'm on the same page with CJ. If it is, cool. Can't wait to see what happens. If it doesn't matter to me at all.
Honestly, I hope it's fucking not, because then fuck you, internet wrestling fucking marks.
Me too. You know who I want it to be? Brock. Because they fought in New Japan a while ago. Because he's talking about someone he knows, someone he's fought before, and he's waited to fight him again or fight him. So I wouldn't be mad if it was Brock. Bring Brock in and have him beat the shit out of him. I don't know. I heard someone, I can't take credit for this, but I thought it was a neat idea. If you're going to bring Punk in, don't put him in the locker room. You book this one match for Mania. You have him do segments and vignettes. Yeah. You have Stone Cold versus CM Punk, and you have Stone Cold come in and do what he did to Owens. Stun Punk, and he wins. Let's see how invested Punk is. I think it was Fightful. Right. It might have been Sean Ross.
I think it was Fightful.
When he said that, I was like, I would be for that, because the hype would be great. You don't have Punk in the locker room to worry about that shit. Big money. And then you're advertising Punk versus Stone Cold for Mania. And then whether Stone Cold just squashes him or not.
I don't think it would need to be a squash.
No, it wouldn't need to be. But I think that build would be phenomenal. And that's a match a lot of people have wanted. Will we see Shinsuke tomorrow or not? I don't know, but I love the intrigue about it. I love the intrigue. And I like Shinsuke. He's always
going to make you watch to find out.
Yep. The women's doesn't really do much for me. I know they have the Bailey thing, kind of. She's probably may be on her way out from the group or whatever.
She should.
I'll never, for the future of me, ever buy Charlotte as a babyface ever again. I'm sorry. I'm not going to buy it. She's a phenomenal wrestler. I can't cheer.
She to me, she's always has been and will be a tweener.
Like Flair, like her dad. You know, he can be a hater, the baddest guy. And the fact that Becky, I mean, there's been so much. I get coming together for a common good against the other side, but Becky and Charlotte, Bianca, wasn't that a triple threat at Mania? Or something like that? I mean, I don't know. The Women's War Games should open. And I think Damage Control could. I mean, maybe Bayley takes the loss, and that's what gets her out.
Well, yeah, that's what it. I mean, that's what it storyline wise. That's what it should be.
Or Shotzi takes the loss because obviously, I love her, but she would be. I
want to see her get elevated a little bit more.
Yeah, me too. But out of those four, who do you think's going to take the fall if that team loses? I wouldn't mind it being any of the other ones, but it'd probably be Shotzi. But I don't know.
Bianca.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind her. I mean, she took at how many second loss before and came back from it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we do picks here, but we don't really, I'd rather be wrong with my picks and be surprised. I think that the good girls go over and Bayley takes the loss. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, team Becky and Bayley eats the fucking pin.
And they might even fight each other afterwards to set up someone between them later. I don't know, but it's War Games. I like it. It's not the same War Games that I grew up with that I want the cage on top. I want elimination. Now this one, I mean, do you really think Carlito's going to win?
I would hope not.
Yeah. I want Santos needs more. But
I would hope not.
Love Carlito. Love him.
So do I. He's awesome and he's a really cool dude.
He's here to help put over Santos in this match, in my opinion. You know, and that
should be.
So this is, once again, the 3 singles match is very predictable in my opinion. But I'd love to be wrong on one of them or some surprise. I mean, is Miz really going to be the one to take the title off of him? He's great. Miz is a double Grand Slam champ. It wouldn't be mad. I want Gunther to lose it soon because I want him to win the Rumble.
I'm pulling for the Miz.
Yes, if the Miz wins, I wouldn't be mad at it.
No, me neither.
Because he's proven he can prove everyone wrong, that he's not a schlub. You know,
he's never been a schlub.
No, but a lot of people, think that way. But
because
is he the one to take it? I mean, they had a good little back and forth in the ring the other day.
I haven't been watching a lot of wrestling lately.
I didn't mind it, and
so much other stuff going on.
They were ribbing each other. They were going at each other, and I like it. And Miz has always been good on the mic. Yeah. But I think Gunther retains. I would rather him lose to Chad Gable. I wanted Gable to get the belt. That'd be a huge push for him.
Agreed.
And they did a great match a couple weeks ago. So maybe Gable gets the shot after this and takes it. I don't know. I want Gunther to lose it just so he can go win the Rumble and fight for the World Heavyweight Championship.
He's not going to win the Rumble.
But they actually said, they asked him about this in an interview, and he said he would rather fight Roman because those two would match up better in his opinion. But I think he takes the World Heavyweight Championship at Mania, maybe. I don't know.
Gunther, not happening.
No?
Not happening.
I don't know.
It's going to be Cody.
Oh, no, the world. Yeah, Seth's title.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be Cody for the WWE.
All right, ready? On the count of 3. Rhea.
Yeah, this is another one. Predictable as shit. I hope. I don't know. Zoe Starks ain't taking the title off of fucking Rhea. But I think there's going to be a lot of.
Never say never.
But I wouldn't put it past them to have a lot of really good false finishes to make you think she's about to win. Like maybe
that's how every match should be. That's for a title.
When have we seen Rhea really down and out? So let's see Zoe kind of get a beat down, and then Rhea ends up winning. Yeah. I agree. The men's, it's Orton. I mean, I think I was a little.
Oh, but is it? They're in Chicago.
Yeah, I've already heard that rumor.
Pepsi Phil.
There's a lot of clickbaiters out there that are already saying that Punk's taking over for Orton, but. See, when they announced Orton, I didn't mind Cody's little teases.
Oh, it was phenomenal.
It's a guy that I have a legacy with.
It was phenomenal.
It was good.
That's how you do good business, regardless of if
I was waiting for the music and Orton to come out, but I read that there was a reason he couldn't be there. So I don't mind that. You get the big pop.
There's a reason he shouldn't be there because you want that bigger pop.
That pop at the pay-per-view. Yeah.
Yes.
Agree. So yes. I was a little indifferent at first. I think there's going to be some kind of dissension over here with the other side.
And I hope he doesn't show up on SmackDown tonight. It should wait until tomorrow.
Yeah. I like I said, when it happened, I was like, I want the music to hit. But then again, once it started to settle, I was with you.
Yeah. I mean, you could have the music hit, but
without him coming out. They could have ended the show with his music, but then the fans would have really expected him to come out. But from what I read, there was a reason he couldn't be there. But it like in the end, I did change my mind. I like it better this way. Now, Jay has issues. I mean, there's a lot of issues between all. I mean, Seth and Cody, Jay and Orton. You know, dissension. These aren't teams like
but wrestling doesn't tell stories. I thought.
No, I know there's a lot of stories in between here, but I'm saying
okay.
This as a team that's been together as friends for a long time. We're not getting a traditional Survivor Series type of
1,000 different stories just on the babyface team.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. That's what I was. Plus, now Drew doesn't like. I don't like you guys, but I'm going to fight with you because I hate the other guys more. I don't mind that. Now I've heard rumors, and I wouldn't be mad at this because, like I said, a lot of predictability in this show. Keep in mind, Seth is the world champ. Damian has a briefcase. If Seth is really beat down after this, who's to say Damian doesn't cash in?
I mean, it's a perfect opportunity.
Yeah, because everyone's going to be brutalized.
I would not be mad at that whatsoever.
Everyone's going to be brutalized. Rhea probably be outside holding that briefcase, and all she got to do is say, it's time, because look how, like, Seth might be injured. He might be selling an injury here and saying this is the time to strike. So I wouldn't be mad at that. Matches was Drew, Gable, and Sheamus.
Makes sense.
Matches. Yeah,
it makes sense.
I would put the Ilya Dragunov matches up there too, because Dragunov versus
that
Walter,
was NXT though.
Yeah, those were brutal matches as well. So I mean, there's so many dynamics in this. I mean, the whole thing with JD finally coming in. Drew's really not part of that group, but he's there to help beat the other team. You know, will there be dissension? I like it. This match is the only one I'm really looking forward to in this card. But
I'm not probably going to end up watching it until either Saturday when I get home from Collision or Sunday after the Steeler game.
Bottom line is, I want to be surprised. I'll be entertained because I love wrestling. I want to be surprised.
I think there could be some really good surprises.
Whether it is Punk showing up or whether it is as a cash in, yes or no. I just hope there's.
I'd rather see a Priest cash in than Punk showing up. And I like Punk. Yeah, I do.
I mean, and people, I've talked to someone on a stream earlier today too about it, and they were like, "Man, I'm like, listen, it's in his fucking name. He's a punk. It's his personality plus it's him. I mean,
you know what CM Punk really stands for, correct?
Chick magnet.
No.
Cookie Monster.
You're not being serious, are you?
I've heard those though.
Chicago made Punk.
Yeah, he's a jerk off. He's a jack off. That's his character, and that's him.
It's more along the lines. I guess there was a big punk music following in Chicago, so Chicago made Punk.
I get it. I got it. And this is in Chicago. It means
absolutely nothing.
No, I do like the fact, and people were saying, you know, why not keep the mystery for Orton? Because then people would really think it's Punk. You got to announce Orton.
You got to announce Orton to alleviate some sort of fan takeover with CM Punk chants, which I think that was the right move.
Yeah. I think there might be a chant, but you know, you're probably not going to hear it on TV.
Okay.
Yeah, you're probably not going to hear it on TV though, because WWE.
You got to expect to hear the chants.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm not. I mean, like I said, kind of predictable for some of the matches. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I hope it surprises the shit out of me, and I love the show. We'll find out.
We'll find out, brother.
That's about it. I mean, short and sweet. Nice little stream.
Yeah,
I'm glad you could make it, man.
Yeah, I was happy I was able to jump in here real quick.
Yep. And we'll be back. Wait, next week? Is next week the Thursday, the 30th? Yes. And the 7th, there's a Steeler game.
Yeah.
Steeler Patriots.
I'm going to do my best. I mean, you know what I have going on outside of this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
When I make it, I can. But I'm not opposed to little sidebars like this on an off night. Sometimes that's going to work better. For me.
And that's the way I thought about. We need to put out as much.
Depending on when I have my production meeting for the IWC show, you know.
See, my opinion right now is while I'm healthy, while I can do it, we need to put out as much content on this channel as we can to get our stuff. So if I got to do a couple little streams by myself or just with one guy, that's the way we're going to do it. Us four, we know each other, we love each other, we're brothers, we understand.
And I love everybody, but.
And if they can make it, they can. If they can't, they can't. If you can make it,
we
you
did
gotta
pretty
leave.
good cohesively. I
Yeah,
feel
it was a
like,
good one.
instead of the
Yeah, it's kind of good. I dug it. I dug it. So, if you're watching the replay, leave a like, drop a comment. Let us know what you think about Survivor Series, what you think about Full Gear, and what you think is going to happen. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you on our streams next week.
Enjoy SmackDown tonight. Enjoy Survivor Series tomorrow. People going to Collision. Enjoy that. I'm getting ready to watch my nephew play in the Whoopie Old Championships at Heinz Field. So I'll be out of here getting ready to do that.
As timeless Tony Storm likes to call it, AEW Rampage and Collision.
Anthony Khan.
Hey, we're out of here, folks. We'll see you next week.